Right hand, do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the cause now pending for the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Can you please state your name?
Sherri, Messer,
And how do you spell Sherri?
S-H-E.
Ma'am, what is your current occupation?
I am a yellow cab driver, independent contractor.
What does that mean to be a yellow cab driver but independent contractor?
I own a yellow cab.
And how long have you been driving for yellow cab?
I believe I've been driving since April of 2013.
Ma'am, back in June of 2015, were you driving for yellow cab?
Yes, sir.
And do you remember the Greene County Sheriff's Office at some point coming to talk to you?
Yes, sir.
And was that about a ride that you had given in the early morning hours of June 10th, 2015?
Yes, sir.
And was that from, did you pick that individual up at the Days Inn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you describe what you remember about picking up that individual at the Days Inn?
Was dispatched to the Days Inn on North Flintstone to pick up a gentleman. Picked him up. Got my cab. I was to take him to off of Volunteer Way.
And do you keep logs of after each shift?
Yes, we keep very detailed logs, trip sheets.
And I know that this was some time ago. You've probably given a few rides since 2015. Would it be helpful for you to have a chance to take a look at your log?
Absolutely.
Matt Godejohn, please. Hand this to you. I know it's kind of small, but you recognize that?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That's a trip sheet.
What is a trip sheet?
It's basically a log, a daily log of all of our calls, and each individual line is each trip that we make. It starts off with the time we pick up, the pickup address, and then the destination that we go to, and then the drop-off time, and also the amount of the trip.
Now, on that, again, early morning of June 10th, what time were you dispatched to the Days Inn?
I was, I don't know exact time that I was dispatched. The time of pickup was 8:57.
And you mentioned a address on Volunteer Way. After looking at your log, does that refresh your memory on what the address was?
Yes, it would be 2103 West Volunteer Way.
And when you got to the Days Inn, did you pick up one person or more than one person?
Just one person.
And do you recall what you remember about him?
It was just white male.
If I could approach.
Yes.
And does that actually say 157?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you said 8.
No, 157.
Okay. That's all right. And that would be 1:57 a.m.?
Yes, 1:57 a.m.
Now, when you picked up the individual from the Days Inn, about how long of a drive is that from Days Inn to that address on Volunteer Way?
It's about, I'd say a little under 10 minutes, because you take the highway, you even take the Highway 44, and you get off on from Glenstone to North Kansas Avenue. It's a little under 10 minutes.
During the drive, do you recall the passenger saying anything or doing anything?
I do. You know, anybody. I'm very talkative, with my passengers a lot of times, especially people I pick up at the airport or pick up at a hotel room. Normally I say, what brings you to Spring Patch, Springfield. And this gentleman, hey, I'm from Wisconsin. He said he was here to meet his girlfriend. That's pretty much, just small talk.
And then as you were approaching the address at 2103 West Volunteer Way, do you remember him saying anything else or doing anything else?
When I got there, he asked me to wait just a few seconds. He was on his cell phone. He was texting he said he was texting his girlfriend to see where he was supposed to, what door he was supposed to go to. It says something like that.
And if it's 1:57, fair to say it's pretty dark out?
Correct.
Okay. And when you got to the address, did you park on the street, driveway, or something different?
I was on the street.
And eventually, did the gentleman get out of the cab?
Yes.
Did you make any observations about what he did once he got out of your cab?
What I saw is he got out of the cab and he went to the right of the home, right rear of the home.
And was there anything odd about what you saw that kind of stuck out in your mind?
Just, he didn't go to the front door, he went to the rear of the home. That's the only thing.
And after refreshing your memory on your log, about what time was it that you dropped him off?
The drop-off time was 2:06 a.m.
I don't have any further questions, Your Honor.
Any cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Nestor, I just have a few questions. You made a pickup and drove someone from the Days Inn to a house on Volunteer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Volunteer Way.
Yes.
Have you had a chance to talk to our prosecutor and kind of prepare for your testimony today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're refreshed, your memory with the reports and everything.
Yes, sir.
Then you told us that the person you picked up said, hey, I'm from Wisconsin. Correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm here for my girlfriend.
Yes, sir.
And you also told the officer that he had a strong accent, correct?
I remember I did say that in my initial report, that he did kind of have an accent. Yes.
Was it a Wisconsin accent?
I don't know what a Wisconsin accent sounds like.
But he talked it.
Yes.
All right. No further questions, Your Honor.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection to this witness being released?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. State calls John Harmon.
Come on up, sir. Just right over here. I have to swear you in, so just grab a seat. I'll swear you in after you have a seat, okay? Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the cause now pending before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Thank you. Keep your voice up, okay? Okay. All righty.
Good afternoon, sir. Can you please state your name?
John Harmon,
Mr. Harmon, how are you currently employed?
in the Springfield Yellow Cab.
And are you also an independent contractor?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you driven for Yellow Cab?
Been there approximately 17 years.
Sir, going back to June of 2015, were you driving for Yellow Cab then?
Yes, sir.
And at some point, you recall the Greene County Sheriff's Office contacting you about a ride you had given in the early morning hours of June 10th, 2015?
Yes.
And when you're driving, do you also keep logs of your different cab fares?
Yes, we keep trip sheets.
And given that this was some time ago, would it be helpful for you to refresh your memory if you had a copy of that to see?
Yes, yeah, I mean, yeah. That's
Couldn't hurt, could it?
Well, yeah, getting hard.
Can I approach it?
Yes.
And according to that log, you made a pickup at 2103 West Volunteer Way, is that right?
Yes.
And about what time was it that you went to that residence?
I think it was it's about 5:48 in the morning, 5:48 a.m. Because we write down our time just as soon as we get there.
Right. And when you got there, did you park in the street, pull in the driveway, or something different?
I pulled into the driveway.
And eventually, did one or more people come out?
There was 2 people.
Okay. And what do you remember about those 2 people physically?
A male and a female. And he was wearing, I believe, blue jeans and a white t-shirt. She was wearing like a skirt. And I can't remember exactly what color shirt. It looked like she maybe possibly had a wig on.
Okay. And when they got in the cab,
To the Days Inn there on North Kentwood.
and is there anything that is noteworthy or that you remember about your drive there?
Not really, it was pretty quiet.
And then when you got to the Days Inn, did they pay you and then go on their way?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And about what time was it that you dropped them back off at the Days Inn?
I dropped him off at 5:55 a.m.
And that was on June 10th?
Yes, sir.
No other questions, Your Honor.
Anything you miss with me?
Yes, Your Honor. You picked up a male and female,
Yes, sir.
Days Inn,
No. I picked him up 2103 West Volunteer Way.
and took them to Days Inn.
Yes.
And they paid you
Yes.
$20 bill.
Yep.
Who paid you?
I believe it was her, the female.
The female. She had the money.
Yep.
No further questions.
Thank you. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
May this witness be excused?
On behalf of the state.
Mr. Reed?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good. Did you get it? Good. All right. All right.
State calls Trevor Teeling.
Okay. Come on up, sir. Just have a seat. I'll swear you have to have a seat, okay? When you're in, you're up there. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give and the cause now pending before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Patterson?
Good afternoon.
Heather,
State your name for the record, please.
Trevor Teeling,
Will you spell your last name for the court?
Teeling,
How are you employed?
through the Green County Sheriff's Office.
What do you do for the Green County Sheriff's Office?
I'm a detective,
How long have you been with the Sheriff's Office total?
approximately 9 years,
And how long have you been a detective with the Sheriff's Office?
5 years.
What's your current assignment?
I'm the supervisor over the property crimes division.
I'm going to take you back to June of 2015. And were you working for the Sheriff's Office then?
Yes, sir.
In what capacity?
I was a detective.
Were you assigned parts of the investigation involving the death of Claudine Blanchard?
I was.
And through the course of your involvement in that case, did you become familiar with who Nicholas Godejohn and Gypsy Blanchard were?
Yes.
As part of your role in the investigation, did you go to the Greyhound station to look for something that occurred on June 11th or 12th?
I did.
What was it you went to look for?
I was sent to look for video surveillance of both of them coming in and purchasing tickets.
Were you able to find that on their surveillance
I
system?
was.
Was their surveillance system working properly?
Yes.
And you're familiar with the Greyhound bus station?
Yes, sir.
The surveillance videos that you found, did they fairly and accurately depict the Greyhound bus station?
Yes.
I'm going to show you this disc here at the top that's Nicholas Godejohn, and then at the bottom it says States Exhibit. And you've had an occasion to see, and our exhibits 50 through 54 and 60 through 67, either still photographs from the surveillance video or surveillance video clips from the Greyhound bus station on June 11th and 12th
Yes,
of 2015.
correct.
And again, they fairly and accurately depict the bus station on those days.
Yes,
And is Nicholas Godejohn seen on those?
he is.
And Gypsy Blanchard?
Yes,
Do you see Nicholas Godejohn here in the courtroom today?
yes.
Could you point him out and describe what he's wearing?
He's at the defendant table and shaved head and a checkered shirt.
Does the record reflect that indication of the defendant?
It was over.
At this time, I did move to admit the disc that contains State's Exhibits 46 through 67.
No objection, Your Honor.
That we received.
No further questions.
Ms. Reed, anything?
No questions, Your Honor.
That this witness be excused.
Yes, Your Honor.
Officer Blanchard.
Judge?
Yes.
Could we take a 5-minute recess and have the jury go to their room to make a brief record on something?
Oh, sure. Sure. So folks, I have to remind you of what you were told at the first recess of the court. Until you retire to consider your verdict, you must not discuss this case among yourselves or with others, or permit anyone to discuss it in your hearing. You should not form or express any opinion about the case until it is finally given to you to decide. Do not do any research or investigation on your own about any matter regarding this case or anyone involved with the trial. Do not communicate with others about the case by any means. Do not read, view, or listen to any newspaper, radio, electronic communication from the internet, or television report of the trial. Take about a 5-minute break, please.
All rise.
Please be seated.
Judge, the state's next witness is Angela Mahola. We just want to make a record on that. I know the court is ruling on both of these issues. Pre-trial that I have to make a contemporaneous objection. The first objection I would make is regarding the motion to suppress. We would object to her testifying and we'd ask the court to reconsider its earlier motion to suppress and issue a different ruling that's not allowing that evidence into evidence. If the court does persist in its pretrial ruling, we would ask for a continuous objection throughout the trial. That's the first issue.
Based on my prior ruling, I am going to find that the professional training normally voluntarily. So I'm going to deny that, but I'll show it as a continuing objection.
And we would ask the court to consider the motion to suppress the written form as well as a suggestion from the court and ask that the court take into consideration in its ruling.
Yes, sir.
And then likewise, with regard to the issue of the sexual misconduct that we dealt with in the motion in limine prior to the trial starting here this morning, again, we're going to make a contemporaneous objection. I think this is the first time it's going to come in. So we would object to Officer Mahola being able to, or we take the plate of Officer Maholi's interview being played for the jury that includes the part where he said he thought about raping Dee Blanchard. For all the reasons I mentioned in my pretrial motion in limine, that it's other bad acts of the defendant. It doesn't prove or disprove any element of this case, and we believe it's being offered just to turn the jury against the defendant. So we would ask the court to reconsider its pretrial ruling on the motion in limine and exclude that evidence. And if the court does deny that, we would ask for continuing objection throughout the trial, so we don't have to repeatedly object.
I'm going to deny it. I am going to give you a show that as a continuing objection. As we talked earlier, I do think it will assist the jury in the issue of deliberation. but I will consider a limiting instruction if you want to prepare one, provide one, I'll please consider it.
Okay.
Are we planning on playing the confession during this topic?
Yes, sir, if I could have a moment, once we're done with the record here, I'll test the sound level and make sure it's played correctly. And it runs about how long? An hour and a half.
So I think probably what we'll do, maybe 45 minutes or so into it, we will pause and give them a break, so they aren't sitting here until 2:30, 2:45. Be a long time.
And one other thing, Judge, as soon as Ms. Maholik is sworn in and seated, I will make an objection just to make sure out of abundance of caution that we properly preserve the issue.
Yes.
And I would just say, Judge, we object on the basis, as we mentioned a few minutes ago. Just
And
so-
that will incorporate both issues.
That's what I would ask.
Okay.
Thanks.
That's all true. All right. Are we ready for them then?
Okay. The prosecutor suggested waiting until they offer the disc itself, and that's fine too. I'll do it then.
That's good enough. Can I have this one moment? Oh, no. Just line him up and he's going to do a sound check. Takes a couple minutes to get him out, lined up.
We're going to compare the two from Gypsy.
Okay, good.
Hello. You've been here a long time waiting for me to get here?
Oh my gosh, I was never done.
I tried to get here as fast.
All right, good. So he's going to do Giacomo, while we're off the record. I entered an order allowing you all access. Did you get what you wanted?
Yep, no. Talk a little bit, it's all right.
And you please proceed.
Thank you, Judge. State calls Angela Maholi.